and rape of Johannesburg teacher Kirsten Kluyts. The 34-year-old English teacher at Delta Park High School was murdered while taking part in a local sporting event in October. Mahungela was arrested at a student residence at Varsity College in Sandton last month. Let's listen into the court proceedings at the Alexandra Magistrate's Court.
Another photo, may it be noted, I know the court has made a ruling that all the evidence which the state has to produce, regardless of the fact that we've seen it or not, it must be, he has the right to can ask the questions. We've seen the second photo for the first time. It's okay, let it be shown to you can't stop. A ruling has been made by the court, respect it, and questions can be asked. We'll deal with this at argument stage.
You confirm that you are in possession of a certain document?
Yeah, this document, yeah.
And is it also correct that there are 6 photos
Yes.
that appear? Let's start with the first photo. What do you see?
Like the face, like from here, like from the eyebrows to the chin, with like the rulers, like some, yeah. From the eyebrows to the chin, yeah, like the ruler, the instrument or something.
Are there any injuries that you observe?
I think it's the one on the cheek. The one on the cheek. Yeah.
Is that the only?
That's the only one that I saw. Yeah.
No, I'm saying today.
Is that the only injury I see here?
Yes, yes.
No, there's an injury on the chin. I see the mouth is a bit swollen. The nose is red. The eyes are swollen. Yeah.
The second picture of photo?
Like a bloody nose, a swollen mouth, like the left side of the mouth, the left side of the chin. That's the left side, yeah. Yeah.
And then the third photo?
The lips. Like under the top lip. Yeah, like it's swollen, like it looks red. Like it's purplish. Yeah.
And what about the fourth one?
The bottom lip and the teeth and the eyes.
What's happening with eyes and teeth?
The eyes are swollen, like the teeth have like blood surroundings around them, and the mouth is like purple also.
We agree that she's angry to all those photos that
Yeah.
The fifth one?
The first one is the bottom lip and the bottom teeth.
Any injuries with regard to the fifth one that was observed today?
The what?
Any injuries?
On this photo?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, the bottom lip.
What's happened?
It's purple. It's purple. Yeah.
Anything else?
Like the mouth looks like red inside. Like, yeah, like behind the lip, the bottom lip.
And the last photo?
Both lips are purple under. Yeah. And the teeth have like red, like blood like around them. Yeah.
And that surely you will compare with me that you will only observe if a person has been beaten. Or let me put it again this way. You agree with me that this differs from your evidence when you said that the only injury on that day that you observed is the one that you told.
Yeah.
May it also be handed over. No. May it part. Yes. On having or on imposition of the third one. But as you described, the great legal minds given to the advocate to look at the question. To be given to you after that.
The great legal mind has no objection. Safe to say it will submit that the great legal mind is seeing this for the very first time. And this is tantamount to ambush, if not surprise, in a bail application. As confused, we've got no objection.
Can you again just tell us what you see? Start with the first photo.
The left ear, a purple left ear, and like a red. The body is red. Yeah.
The other photo?
Same. Yeah.
And the third one?
It's written right cheek here, but I can't tell. Yeah.
But surely the injuries that you observe.
Yeah. I don't know. What's this?
This is the back of the head, and I'm not going to ask you to comment. It will be the state's application that also be part of the process. The state is also in possession of this document. There are 3 photos. Before it is handed to you, your legal team is given the opportunity to do it.
Legal team, as previously, first time seeing the same photo, as to why it was not kept, why was it not availed to us? It boggles the mind, but that is not a ground for objection. And in the same vein, we would say, same promise with the video footage. This is how the state operates. Video footage was promised, and we're not giving it.
But I'm interested on with regard to the 2 photos. With regard to the first photo, what is it that you see?
Like the body with the swollen face.
Okay. The second photo,
The neck.
is there anything that you say with regard to the neck?
I see a few scratches.
Sorry.
A few scratches. Yeah.
And the last one? I'll leave that one. May it also be headed over.
Can I make a request? For all the photos which the state has, may not be wasting cost time. Let them be handed over to the accused and Madam to ask questions. They have no objection. If they're handed, let them be given to you. Doesn't make sense. So there is no action.
Unfortunately, the time has already been wasted. The defense spent 2 days leading their case. At no stage did the prosecution comment. The state is going to run its case in a manner that it feels that it should actually proceed. Okay. In conclusion, with regard to those photos, you are still in agreement with the prosecution. That is, the picture that we observe with regard to these photos is different from what you told us with regard to them. You agree?
Okay, for the record, my client is not in this case. May he say something for the record, please?
Yes. Yes, I'm saying yes to his question.
Tell us this, with regard to the photos that were presented yesterday. One observed that the deceased body was stretched.
What was?
Was stretched.
Yeah.
Regarding the photos that was there yesterday. Yeah. Are you the one who did that?
Like stretched.
Yeah, the body.
I didn't stretch a body.
At the time, or on your arrival, was the body in that way?
No, it was like laying like a sleeping body.
The sleeping body.
Yeah.
What I'm referring to is the photos. You are in position yesterday to gain a copy to defense as well. Yes. Defense was given the same May I have a request that the copy that was given yesterday to the applicant be given to you?
We are complying with the
I think it's
Exhibit F. Correct. It should be in there. Sorry about that.
Associate is still searching. The state was not going to complain.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience. This expected, and I'm not going to get into petty issues like a baby who's crying on the build for the child.
So I'm interested in photo number 7, photo 7, photo 8.
Photo 7.
Yeah, photo 7. How is the deceased body aligned?
Like one leg up, one leg is laying down. I can't really see the left arm. Then the right arm is like facing up. Yeah.
What about photo number 8?
Same.
Photo number 9?
The same.
Photo number 10?
The same.
And you would agree with me that was after you have taken off
The
the
toe.
clothes of the deceased. That's why earlier,
Yes.
that's why earlier on I asked you, is it correct that this body is actually scratched? That's what maybe you did not understand. But this is a picture that you're getting.
Yeah.
How did you determine, came to the conclusion that the disease was dead?
Like after finding no pulse and no heartbeat.
Sorry?
After finding no pulse and no heartbeat, and like there was no breath.
Is there anything else that made you to conclude that she's dead?
No, not really.
Not really.
No.
Are you an expert in terms of concluding, determining?
So it's just common sense to see someone that is dead.
And for the first time, because my understanding, you correct me if I'm wrong, in your life, it was the first time that you witnessed, as you must believe, this.
Yes.
Now, do you want us to believe that you were in a position to say that this person is dead besides being a mistake?
Yes.
Tell us if is it correct that you took off the clothes of the deceased? It was after you had already decided that.
Yes.
You remember this word?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to come out of the Alexandra Magistrate's Court there, and of course we'll take you back in as we continue to hear the testimony of Bafana Mahungela, the 21-year-old man there who is facing charges of rape and murder, for the rape and murder of a 34-year-old teacher, Kirsten Kluyts. And he's, in that testimony that he's been given evidence of what she would have looked like when she was found at the crime scene, describing some of the injuries that he sees on her body. And of course, he does maintain his argument that he found her dead and that he was attempting to assist her when he found her. And we will take you back into the Alexandra Magistrate's Court.
Yeah, to answer questions, let me advise you. I'll ask you, after determining, I've asked you, how did you determine that the deceased is no more? You remember?
Yes.
What was your answer?
I said that I checked the pulse, the heartbeat, and the breath.
Yes. And you testified that you did not touch the body. You remember that?
Like when you're saying body, are you talking about skin or the body with the clothes?
With the clothes.
I did touch the body with the clothes.
At what time?
That was when I turned her over.
That was after we have already concluded that she's no more.
I turned her over before I included that she's no more.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many times?
How many times did I turn her over?
Yes.
Once, because she was facing sideways.
Please don't be angry, sir. I'm not going to be threatened by you. I'm doing my job here.
Bishop,
The reason why I'm putting this
I'm going to object.
is because you've changed your face.
Bishop, cross-examination doesn't necessarily mean one has to cross-examine crossly and with emotions and informing the witness. I'm not going to allow my ladies colleague abusing my client in the box. I've put this client into the box to tell the truth freely and voluntarily, and he will answer in the best way ever to arrive at the truth. So these utterances like, I'm not going to be threatened by you, we need protection. The court has to protect us. I'm not going to allow this. Otherwise, if we were to proceed in this way, we're going to lose our rationality and all be emotional. I'm not here for emotions. If he is not getting the right answers, he must live and sleep with them.
Thanks. Appreciated. May I proceed? Tell us this so that we understand. What was the first thing that you did when you arrived at the place where the deceased was lying?
I went to the restaurant.
No. I'm saying when you approached the body, what was the first thing that you did with the body?
Before even touching or anything.
Sir, what was the first thing that you did?
I first moved it with my leg.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the second thing that you did?
The second thing is that taking off the blanket or whatever that is.
The third?
The third thing was me now, like I first did this, like to shake them, and they got no response.
Yeah.
That's when I turned them over, and then I checked the pulse and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, with my foot. And then after that, I took off the thing, the blanket. And then I found the body laying sideways, facing the wall. So I can't see the face. That's when I now turn them over.
Okay.
Like, it's like they're laying sideways, so I just like pull them like backwards. Yeah, like pull them backwards. Like I think it was here and here or something, like to roll them over. I roll them backwards. Yeah, like somewhere in this area, and like somewhere here, like yeah, around the hip. So yeah.
Are you saying to us that you did not touch the lower body of the deceased? In that
I just
process?
said that I touched the hip side. I rolled them over, touching this area and this area.
What about the legs?
No.
And at that stage, she was still having her takes on.
Yes.
Which means one can safely say that there was no way, or there is no way that your fingerprints will be lifted when the tegis are being examined, because you did not touch that part.
Like the body itself, the skin.
I'm talking about the techies, the shoes, running shoes.
What about them?
Did you touch them as you were turning
The body?
of the disease? Yeah.
No.
Okay. Which means I'm saying your DNA cannot be lifted because you did not touch that part.
On the techies. I only touched. Okay.
Okay. But it's correct that that is one of the items of the disease that you took. Is that correct?
Please repeat.
Is it correct that one of the things that you took is the running shoes of the disease?
Yes.
What was the reason for that? Because your fingerprints are not there.
Because like I touched the clothes, I was taking the clothes. So how am I going to take off the pants if there's techies on?
That's why then I ask you as to whether did you touch the techies?
The techies, I touched them after.
After.
While I was taking off the clothes.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, what are the items that you took?
Techies, pants, shirt, cap.
Anything else?
No.
But the glasses, you also took them.
I
Of the
took the
disease.
classes. No, I didn't take classes.
There were two photos yesterday that were handed in. Depicting or showing yourself. So you remember? This is one of those photos.
Correct.
You will agree that that is the photo where you are wearing the t-shirt of the deceased.
Yes.
You are,
Again, may I ask the court to ask my client to answer? He's nodding his head. I didn't get it. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, madam.
and you are wearing the glasses as well. You notice that?
I'm not wearing her glasses. I showed the police the glasses at rest.
Okay.
And then they didn't take the glasses that I gave them. Because they asked me for glasses. I showed them the glasses that I have. I showed them the watch that I have. They didn't take any of that.
Whose glasses are those?
It's the glasses that when I was living, it was first, I moved to 145. When I was living at the previous rest at rest at Parkmore, there was glasses that I found in my room there. Red glasses, they have a red thingy here.
Yeah.
Those are the glasses that I had that day.
Okay. They belong to you.
Well, they don't belong to me. I found them in my room. Like Like we were first living at, what's that house? Is it 8? 9? Is it? Yeah, I think it's house number 9. There in Parkmore before we moved to 145. So the room that they moved me into, like it had a bright area, and then I found classes there. Those are the classes that I took. Like I've had them since.
So your evidence is that the reason why you took the clothes of the deceased is due to the fact that you did not want it to be connected with the case of murder.
Yes.
Explain this to me, sir, because I don't understand it. After taking the items that belong to the deceased, why did you decide to wear the T-shirt of the deceased?
Like I wrapped the other clothes in my shirt.
Why did you not use the deceased T-shirt for purposes of wrapping?
There's no explanation for that one.
I would like you to comment on this. The state will put to you that the reason for that, it was due to the fact that your T-shirt had blood. Now, you did not want to be seen by people that were passing. I would like you to comment. If you agree, you agree. If you're not, yeah.
I don't think blood will show on a black T-shirt.
Okay?
Yeah.
Even if it is fresh?
I doubt.
You doubt?
Yeah.
But then why you do not proceed and walk wearing yours? Use the deceased T-shirt to wrap.
I don't have an explanation for that one. I don't have an explanation why I wore the shirt exactly. But I used my shirt to wrap the pants and the tackies.
Is it not because there was something in your T-shirt that will actually be noticed by people that are passing and you'll be easily arrested?
Objection?
I'm asking.
Objection to this question. I'll tell you the photograph. Was the reason, first time is what there could have been blood on his shirt. You answered that. Blood didn't show. Secondly, is it not that there could be something? What is this something? It's a big question.
Not only is that a big question, the accused will answer. If there was nothing that will connect him with the crime, you'll say there was nothing. It's just a question that, was there anything that you were avoiding, that you felt that if it is sin, you'll be linked to this offense? Let me put it in that way. No.
No.
That you were walking, you were not running, yeah?
Yeah.
Were you running or were you walking?
I think I was fast walking. Yeah.
Estimatedly, how much time did it take you to arrive at your place?
No, the place is far.
Is it an hour? Is it 2 hours? Remember, we were not.
For the record, already he said place is too far, but he said it in a low voice. Please raise your voice. Cost permission?
That place is far. Yeah.
But estimatedly, how much time, sir? An hour? Is it 2 hours?
Not an hour.
Not an hour. Okay.
Let's say under 40 minutes
Okay.
or something. Yeah.
Okay. And actually, is your evidence that on your way home, you decided to discard or to throw away this piece of evidence? I'm talking about the clothes.
Can I talk?
Yes.
Oh, when I left the scene, that's when I was going to throw away the clothes. Same time when I left the scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it at the very same place that is the George Lee Park?
Where I throw away the clothes?
Yes.
No.
Where?
It's in one of the streets.
In one of the streets.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you discard this piece of evidence? How did you throw them away?
In the train.
In the train. How did you do that? Can you show us? Remember, we were not there.
It's a train. I just pushed them inside.
Yes?
Yeah, I just pushed them inside the train.
And what else did you do? Take your time. What else did you do?
I think I stood to check or something.
Sorry?
I think I stood to check or something.
What
Yeah.
is it that you are checking?
Like if it's seeable.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wanted to ensure that no one will actually pick up that you were in possession of the deceased clothes. You wanted to ensure.
Not like initially for people, because I don't think like you always see like things inside the train, but no one would go and take things out of the train. So I was just throwing them away.
And on your arrival at your rest, who did you inform about this?
Our caretaker's girlfriend is Norma, and then I told 2 students.
Okay, let's start with Norma.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you relate this to her?
I think like 2 days after or a day after. Like maybe two or a day after.
Okay. What about the other students?
That could have been like the next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it correct that you informed us that you also related this to your father?
Yeah, I did.
Before I proceed talking about that, we were informed when we started that the father of the deceased is one of the witnesses that will be called. I mean, the father of the accused is one of the witnesses that will be called. At a later stage, the father and the other lady were advised to go and be seated outside. May I find out whether is that the position? Because I say that the father of the deceased is seated in court. I mean the father of the accused.
Right, let me just double check that one. Yeah, the father, thank you very much for noticing that. I was going to address the Honorable Court at the later stage to inform the court that based on what we laid on its plate, it seems the there won't be any need to call the father. What you could remember that we tendered documents from the father. That was primarily to confirm address in Middleburg and so on. About issue that you told Norma what of its common cause, no one is disputing it. Thank you very much. So he may stay in court, if I may.
Now this. Okay, is Norma, is two other students. Who else did you relate this to? The incident, the murder, who else did you inform about this incident that you witnessed?
My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend. Okay. Are you intending to call her as well?
Call her for what?
To testify?
That I told her.
Sir?
That I told her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be up to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us this. One of the things yesterday that you told this court about is that you have always been helping people. In one of the documents that was handed in, that is from your class, from your school, also support that.
Now the school, let me just correct that. The school cannot give anything. The school's principal.
Yeah, but the principal is from, I don't know whether my learned colleague wants to waste the court's time by jumping up and down. We are here, he was given 2 days. And at no stage did I object. It was only once when he was leading this court, you see. May he be advised to stop doing that. He's wasting our time.
So the principal wrote the letter, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And he's also saying that you are helping people. You remember that this incident took place on the 29th of October?
Yes.
And you were arrested, was it on the 27th of November?
26 November.
26 November, okay. And at that stage, the state or the police officers, they did not have a clue as to who to link to this offense. You'll agree with me? Because there was no one was arrested.
Yeah.
It took almost a month for you to be linked. You'll agree with me?
Yeah.
As a good person, as a person that you want us to believe that is helping others, what was in your mind with regard to the family of the deceased? Their daughter have passed away, and no one knows except you. What came to your mind?
That's the thing. Like, I didn't know that I'm the only one that knows. I thought that maybe, like, after I left and all that stuff, you guys are gonna find like the person.
But does that make any difference?
Well,
okay.
No, you can carry on.
I mean, why do you spend 2 to 5 days before you relate or inform any other person so that the family of the deceased can be assisted? Why did it happen like that?
There's too many people sitting in jail for crimes they didn't commit.
I don't know that. And that is not my question. My question is, before informing Norma, correct me if I'm wrong, you said it was after 2 days. Am I correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You are having that crucial information, sir. Why do you sit with that information?
I didn't want to be involved with the police.
So is it not correct that you are saying to us that you did not commit this offense?
Yeah.
But what is it that we're scared of? Remember, in terms of your conscious, your mindset, you know that I'm not the one. You know that. What is it that was so difficult then in relating the information?
Oh, it was difficult. I wish I did, but here I am.
The advocate asked you yesterday as to whether are you right in terms of your mindset. What was your answer, by the way?
I said I'm right.
Do you think so? Are you not sick?
No.
Okay, after a period of 5 days, you then related this to your fellow students.
Yeah.
Tell us this, why did you inform Usis Noma? What was the reason? Why did you relate this to her?
Because like she's a divorce attorney. Like she also works in court, so like I needed like guidance on what to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And what guidance or advice that you got from this attorney?
She said that if I didn't do it, there's nothing to worry about.
Okay. And what else?
That's it.
Okay. What are the full names of Noma?
I just know Norma.
Are you going to call her as a witness or you don't know? It's going to depend on the legal team.
It depends on them.
That is all that she advised you.
Yeah.
She did not want the two of you to go to the place where you have witnessed this incident.
No.
Why did you not call the SAPS?
Because I was
but
scared.
not just let me finish. But not mention your name.
Sorry?
Why did you not call the SAPS but not mention your name? Just to say that at a certain place I've witnessed this and that. Why did you not do that?
I wanted to, but like I don't know about how these reporting things work. Like, what if they ask me who's this, or are you at the scene, or come to the police stage? See, so yeah.
But it's the first time that we are hearing that you wanted to do that. At the time that you were testifying, you did not mention that. What is the reason?
You're only asking me the question now.
Your attorney was asking you questions, sir. Was leading you, laying the basis, the groundwork. At no stage did you mention this. Why do you mention now?
Like, was I not asked if, like, you guys asked me was why didn't I report it?
No. The question is, why did you not call the SAPS?
Because of the
I'm saying it's the first time that you're informing us that you wanted to do that. You agree with me?
Yeah, like I've been wanting to like talk about it, but I didn't know how.
Yes, but I'm saying you agree with me that it's the first time that we're hearing about this.
Yeah.
Why did you not mention it? Remember the last question, I'm going to be short and brief. The last question that my learned colleague put to you was whether, is there anything else that you would like to add? That was yesterday, you remember that? And the only thing that you said, yes, I would like to thank my school, my family. You remember that?
Yes.
Why did you not inform us that you wanted to call the SAPS?
I wasn't thinking about that.
Is it not because it did not happen? You never thought about it due to the fact that you knew that the person that have committed this offense is yourself?
No.
One of the things that you informed us was that the security company 24/7 is all over the place at Georgeley Park.
It's all over Parkmore.
Parkmore. And one of the pictures that were handed in, picture of a gate, so you saw two vehicles that belong to 24/7.
24/7.
And one of the things that I observed yesterday is that there are cell phone numbers that are appearing there.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Correct.
As you were walking, being in possession of the clothes, why did you not call 24/7?
While I'm holding the clothes.
Yes, as you're walking, you're in possession of clothes. Yeah, just to make a call, but again, not mentioning your name. Why did you not do that?
I was scared still, yo. I was still scared. The same reason why I didn't call the police.
Scared of what, sir?
Of prison.
Of prison?
Yeah.
When did you start? When did it begin this year, on that day?
Like what do you mean?
You're saying you're scared. When did it actually start in terms of having fear?
Like when I almost got locked up in grade 11 for like...
No, my apologies. On that
All right,
day,
so we're going to come out of that temporarily, of course, where we're continuing to see the bail application of Bafana Mahungela, who is the 21-year-old man who is facing charges for the premeditated murder and rape of 34-year-old teacher Kirsten Kluyts. And as he gives his testimony, he has been questioned around his actions once he found the body of Kirsten Kluyts. Of course, he maintains that he found her body already dead. He maintains, though, that when he found her laying there, he turned her over and maintains that he then took off her clothes and shoes. Of course, a lot of questions there around why he would then take the clothes off of a body that he then found. And then a lot of the questions there around when he did communicate that a body had indeed been found. And he says that it was 5 days later that he had told a few other people. 2 days later, he spoke to fellow students at the varsity that he was in attendance to, and says he spoke to a divorce lawyer for advice on on what to do, but also days after the discovery of the body.
Not happening, as far as we know, and we have some objections about it. Now, and we can show, here are the notes. I said my learned colleague, they're written in red pen. These are the questions to be asked from from the watching brief. Let's analyze the word watching brief. It's simple. The brief gives you powers by whomsoever, by whatever person, but not the prosecution, to have an interest in the matter. but it doesn't give you the right to actively participate because the interests of the state have been taken care of by the prosecution. Worship, let me not waste court's time. This is another feature of this animal called unfairness, which is shown in this case, and we wanted just to draw court's attention to that. If court finds there's nothing problematic about it, we wouldn't have a problem, we'll proceed with it, but we just wanted to draw court's attention to that.
Bishop, the state is the one that is proceeding with this matter. What is happening is there is an investigating officer. If there's a certain information that I might or the state might have missed, we just speak to the investigating officer. That will be the information that have been discussed in the office as the investigations were continuing. With regard to the watching brief, the state does not actually see any problem with that. The watching brief attorney is not actively involved. He might have notes or questions, but the defense cannot come and argue that beyond reasonable doubt, each and every question that was actually put to the applicant is a question that is actually being drawn by what? By the watching brief attorney. Yeah. I think cordially, civilly, they've got an interest just to find out from the state as to how are you doing. But I'll leave it. As far as the state is concerned, there is no reason for this application to be made. It's part and parcel of what? Of wasting time. It's part and parcel of ensuring that the state is losing what? Focus. For quite some time, we have been hearing about this what? Unfairness. Since we started about this matter, either the constitutional rights have not, is part and parcel of just wasting the time.
May I have a short reply, Worship, for the conflicts? I have serious problems with personal attacks on me that I am here to do a bail application and waste cost time. It's a personal attack, and we cannot operate like that as civil colleagues. I take serious offense that I come to court to waste cost time when I raise pertinent and genuine issues for the record. Now, my learned colleague wants to say he will impose when should I object and not. The fundamental question I'm raising is here are notes. He is not referring to the notes. And I can show they're written in red. They are from a source called Watching Brief. And these questions come from. And we are simply saying the Watching Brief, for it to be party in these proceedings, a proper application has to be brought. And even where they are sitting, they were not supposed to be seated here. For starters, they're part of the audience, unless if Honorable Court gives preferential special treatment to the Watching Brief. And I'm not even sure if the prosecution did at some stage introduce the Watching Brief. We were not aware of anything. What we see is a cordial relationship between the two of them, and their love relationship grows from day to day. Thank you.
Bishop, may I answer? For starters, if we compare the two documents, surely my learned colleague will realize that the handwriting, as I might say, is misleading this court. These have been written by the investigating officer. If he wants to go through the statement of the investigating officer, it is wrong to come and argue before court, mislead the court. He's not correct. Secondly, with regard to the issue of respect, if you want to be respected, if you want not to face personal attack, you should be the one who's doing that first. The state, myself, I was attacked by the advocate that I'm a young boy. What is that? It's on record. Yeah, That is what was said. Yes. He must do that first.
Right. The school is not going to entertain any attacks on either parties, from either parties towards any other party. We are all adult people, and we know what the rules are. Concerning the application by the defendants, I myself also see no problem with somebody. It is for the prosecutor to decide whether they want to be helped by somebody, whether they use the questions referred to them. It's on the prosecution's decision whether they want to proceed with the question or not. So the court will allow the watching brief to be present.
As the court pleases.
Good. So you're still under oath, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mahungela, since you have been here, you gave us your recollection of the events. That is your version. Yes. For example, before we adjourn, you explained before this honorable court the reason why you did not report this, you did not call the police. You remember,
Yes.
you've given us the reason. Yeah. But you will also recall that the state have put to you that your explanation cannot be reasonable and possible true. That is the view of the state. Yeah. We are saying you are not being honest. You are not telling the truth before this honorable court. What is your comment? Any comment?
Yeah.
As a prosecution, what we are saying is that you are not being honest. You are not being truthful to this. Any comment?
In my point of view, it's as if you want me to say what you want to hear.
Sorry?
In my point of view, it's as if you want me to say what you want to hear.
Okay. Let's deal with what you told us last week. You'll correct me if I'm wrong. Is it correct that you testified that you arrived at Sandton between 9:30 and 10 o'clock from Alexandra?
Yeah,
Correct me
estimated.
if I'm wrong.
Estimated, yeah.
Okay. It is therefore your evidence that before 9 o'clock you were not in Sandton.
Like, I'm not really sure with the times, because they also are on my phone, like the times of the, like on the pictures, like that I took at the sports center and stuff. So, yeah.
But remember, I don't want us to argue about this. In terms of your evidence, you said after sleeping in the taxi, being lost, asking the taxi driver to assist you, and you refused. You think you were at Sandton between 9:30 and 10 o'clock.
Between 9 and 10.
Between 9 and 10. Okay. You are sure about that?
It's an estimation of time. I didn't know that I'm going to be facing that situation until now.
Tell us this then. Is it possible that at the scene of crime, you were at that place at 8 o'clock or before 8 o'clock?
I was where?
At the scene of crime before 8 o'clock.
I was at the scene of crime before
That is
8.
George Lee Park.
I was there before 8 o'clock.
Yes. Is it possible?
No.
You are quite certain about that?
Yeah, I think I'm quite certain.
Another reason why I'm putting this question to you. One, If the state gets an opportunity to lead evidence, the state, one, will proceed by way of affidavits. The state is in possession of an affidavit from private investigator, is in possession of an affidavit from the investigating officer. And both of them are informing the state that you were at the scene of crime before 8 o'clock.
Before 8 o'clock?
Yes. Will they be correct? Just a comment.
No, I doubt, because on my iPhone there's the time of the pictures.
Yeah.
Like the picture when I took the menu, there's time. iPhone shows time. There's picture of time when I took the picture of the menu. There's picture of time when I took the picture of the blue board outside at the gate.
Okay. And is your view, is your testimony that you only arrived at Sandton after 9 o'clock? Is it your testimony?
As I said before, I'm not quite certain about the time, but it could be estimated around 9 or 10.
9 or 10. Okay. Then assist us on this then. You'll recall that yesterday there were a number of documents that were given to your legal team, that were given to yourself, and even this honor of court. You recall that, even the photos.
Yes.
Are you in possession of?
No, I don't have it.
But it was given to you.
Yeah.
It's a telecom, yes. Is it A or D?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Look at page 1, it's written page 1 of 4.
Yeah,
Okay, you got it.
I found it.
1 of 4. Surely you'll recall that my learned colleague yesterday, as part of leading evidence, asking you questions, this is one of the documents he basically used. You remember that?
Yeah.
That is your advocate. Okay. Can you look at line number 9? Is the 29th of October, 07:35, 50 seconds. These are the results of what we call 205, which basically shows us where was your phone at that time. You understand that, right?
I understand.
Okay. And in most instances, it will refer you to the tower or to the base station. And you'll recall that before I deal with it, it's your evidence, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, that around 9 o'clock, because you keep on saying that you're not quite sure it's an estimation. Yeah, you were at Sandton. But this document indicates to us that at this time, 07:35:50, you were at or near the Jesse Sunset Bay, which is a base station in Sandton.
Are you talking about the 7:35:50 seconds?
Yes. 7 is actually 07:35:50.
Yeah.
Do you see it?
I see it.
Yes. Now, it gave us the results, and the results are that around this time, yeah, you were at Sandton. Any comment or explanation?
Like I see here under Sunset Bay, it says Sandton View.
No. That is another line.
So, but like
That is another line.
It's a minute after the same one.
That is another line. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. What were you saying?
Yeah, you can see that they are like 1 minute apart.
Yes.
Do you see at the second line it says Sandton View under Sunset Bay?
Yeah.
That's the last Sandton View. Sandton View is here in Wynberg.
Where in Wynberg?
It's here in Wynberg. You just go out here down the road. It says Sandton View at Mint Hotel, where I stayed last year.
It's because the reason why I'm putting this to you, in terms of not only these results, in terms of and the state, when it's presenting evidence, reading the affidavit of the investigating officer on the record, that this tower is actually in Sandton. That's the information that we are having from the police officer. Are you saying that is not correct?
Well, I only know that Sandton View is here in Wynberg. The rest I don't know. But I know that only
besides
Sandton.
that, you will not tell us at Sandton View at which place is this tower.
Yeah.
But then do you realize that there's a difference of time? Because on your part, you are telling us that around 9 o'clock, it was only at that time that you arrived at Sandton. But this one is saying that around 8:30 or 25 to 8, you were already in Sandton. Do you realize my problem or difficulty?
I should have been in Sandton at around like 8:10 or something.
Around?
I should have been in Sandton around maybe 8:10 or something. Because the taxi is passing Sandton View, as it's written here. If it's passing Sandton View, it still has to go around Mandela side, Nelson Mandela side, and then only does it go straight.
It's the first time that we are hearing about that. You agree with me?
Yeah, like the taxi, like it.
What I'm saying, this version.
Ma'am, like the taxi, like it when it leaves Penn, it doesn't like take the highway like to Sandton. It goes around. It must go around Nelson Mandela Square and all those places, like in Sandton, like different locations.
But is it correct that that version or testimony is the first time that you are presenting it before this court?
Yeah.
Why last week or yesterday you did not mention this?
Like you guys are the ones asking me the questions. I'm not the one.
Okay, let me put it in this way. Did you inform the advocate about what you just told us?
About this?
During consultation.
Worship, with the greatest respect, I I don't understand. My little colleague has to be the first one to remember that these cell phones, photos about him wearing the t-shirt were only given to us in court. I didn't even consult on this. I even put it on record that we are receiving them in court, and we wouldn't get an opportunity to. I used them as soon as. So let's remind ourselves without asking questions. So what, my learned colleague then, before arriving at this question, did you tell your advocate, must inform the court that after me giving you the documents in court, did you get an opportunity to consult with your attorney on this? And it is not only this, it is also the photos on the LRC and other photos, I think, warning statement also, which were requested, by the way, on Thursday. I've got the emails as proof. So I find this question in the circumstances to be unfair. And really, I don't know. But again, I shouldn't be lambasted and not being protected for being trying to distract the prosecutor. That's an act of cowardice. I don't play those are childish games. I don't play that.
Bishop, with regard to that, with greatest respect to my learned colleague, I think both the state and the defense, after there were some arguments, were advised by this honorable court to ensure that we respect this court. This question is a question that is not only about what the defense received yesterday. Remember, we were given a version that the accused or applicant will come and tell this court that a day before that, he attended a pyjama party. That version was started hearing last week. And thereafter, we were informed that early hours of the morning, around 7 o'clock, that is the time that the applicant took a taxi from Susumane, if I'm not mistaken, to Penn. And from Penn, then he took. That was the version that we were given. There's nothing wrong, because basically this question is with regard to that version. Yes. Tell us this. Are you aware, or do you know that there's a place which is called Hurlingham, which is just opposite George Lee Park?
No.
Okay. It will be our version I'm putting to you. There's that place. And this Sandton Tower it is actually at Hurlingham. It's not here. I know my your legal team, my learned friend, when he takes further instructions, surely is going to follow this up. But we, as a state, will put to you that you are not correct in what you're saying. This place is just opposite the George Lee Park. That is where this poor lady, the deceased, was murdered. At that time, you were at the scene of crime. Around 7 o'clock, sir.
Are you saying that the deceased passed away at 7 o'clock?
No, I'm saying, remember you are the accused. I'm saying at past 7 o'clock, you were at the scene of crime. This tower that we're talking about is at Hurlingham, which is opposite the George Lee Park.
The Sandton View Tower?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And actually, talking about the deceased, you are in position.
What's your answer to that statement?
I said the tower at Sandton View, like the Sandton View Tower, is at Hurlingham, and then he said yes.
But the question is, what you are presenting this honorable court to this honorable court is not correct at all. That's what I'm putting to you, because that tower is just next to the scene of crime. Any comment?
I wouldn't know about that.
Can you look at this photo again? You are in position of. Yes. What we see in that picture is a photo of the deceased. Is that correct?
Yes.
Under that, we've got the date and time, the 29th of October 2023, 08:05. Do you see that? Okay. I'll put to you that this time 08:05, this is the time when the deceased, the timekeeper of that event, this is the time that he took the photo of the deceased. The deceased at that time, she was already at that park.
At 5 minutes past 8.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, we'll lead that evidence that at 4 minutes past 8, she was actually on her way to the entrance.
Okay.
And there was a timekeeper. Then the timekeeper took her photo at 5 minutes past 8. You understand?
Yeah.
You are in possession of this one as well.
They took it.
This one. This picture, I think is, yeah. Looking at this picture, is it correct that the person that is appearing there, if I'm not wrong or corrected, it was not disputed yesterday. Is it correct that it was yourself? The person that is appearing there?
No,
that's next to the gate.
This one isn't me.
Why do you say that?
Isn't they two? This is the lady.
I know, but even this one, it's you. That is the evidence as a state. When we proceed with trial,
I'm saying,
actually,
like on my picture, it's the lady one. I think here's the one.
They gave
The
you
wrong
the
one.
wrong one.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying even yesterday it was not in dispute. Is it correct that it is yourself? We will put the following. At the time the deceased, her photo was being taken. Regarding the first page that I gave to you, you were behind the deceased. That is the evidence that we're going to lead. And the distance between yourself and the deceased is plus minus 100 meters. It's
Okay.
not long.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I speak?
Yeah.
Do you see in these pictures, when I'm here, there is no shadows of trees or anything. So which means the time frame is way different. 100 meters couldn't have been that. How do I walk there and then there's no more shadows and stuff from the trees? And do you see me at the gate? I'm standing. Do you see how she enters at the gate? She's walking inside. I'm standing at the gate looking at the blue board that I talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Remember, there were 3 photos that were presented yesterday. This was the other photo. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is that photo?
I don't have that photo.
This one. You are in position of. The reason why I'm bringing this, I just want to rephrase my question, so that you can be able to guide us very well, as you are the one who was at the scene of crime. This photo, the last one. Can you? Yes, this one, photo number 1.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see it?
I see it.
Yeah. Actually, it's a photo that was taken at the time that you were following the deceased. At the time, the timekeeper was taking photos.
Right.
Any comment? You'll dispute if you dispute.
No, can I speak?
Yes.
Like if I was following the deceased, right? So like if I was following her, like that means then I had intentions to like going to do the crime, right?
I don't know.
So like no, like what like why would I then stand at the gate and look at the board? If like I knew what I was doing, if I knew the place. You can see how she walks in. She walks in straight from here, from the side. I would have done the same if I knew the place, but I'm looking at the board. Do you see me standing there looking at the board? Just look there.
Which picture are you?
The one of me.
Okay, yeah.
Do you see me standing there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But can we compare these pictures, the 2 pictures? 2023, 10, 29.
Yeah.
You put them in this manner, this fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you realize that in one picture, the deceased is entering the gate?
Yeah.
Do you realize that?
Yeah.
Do you also realize that yourself, in this picture, this other one, you are entering the gate?
Entering the gate.
Yes.
But okay.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And in terms of...
Sorry, I should interrupt. It seems he still has something to say and is interrupted. Please may answer.
Okay, anything that you wanted to add?
Like it doesn't make sense because, like you said, I'm approximately like 100 meters away from her, right? So in approximately 100 meters, is that enough time for me to like walk behind her and then like the sun moves and then the shadows disappear from the trees? If I was 100 meters away from her, that means like that means the sun, like the trees should have still been showing in my picture too, but there's no trees. And as you can see, she's walking in, like it's like walking this side. The gate is here. If I know the place or I know where I'm going to go straight inside on the right side. I went all the way to the left side and stood at the board. If you can see, I'm standing in front of the board, looking at the board. And the board I talked about from the beginning.
Let me put it in this way, just for purposes of avoiding wasting time, to be brief. Is it correct that you were at the scene of crime. You were at the place where this running event was taking place. Because in terms of these pictures, it's appearing. Is it correct?
Like now I'm seeing with the pictures you guys showed me, because I saw the deceased entering and me entering. Yeah.
Is it correct?
Well, clearly yes. Yeah.
Which means you are no longer disputing it as the past 2 days. You remember the evidence that we're in possession of from yourself was that, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, was that you were never at the place where there was running event. That is at that gate. You remember that?
I wasn't at the place of...
Remember at George Lee Park,
Yeah.
there was a running event.
Yes. Which
There
I didn't know anything
yes.
about.
You said yes, that's what you said.
Yeah.
You said you did not know because you were not at that place where actually the starting line was. You remember that?
Yeah, I didn't even know about the starting lines or the event.
Yes.
But
now-
like, can I...
Yeah,
So like
proceed.
my other question is, where are these many people that she was running with? And since you said that she always attends this thing, don't you think that the person that did this knows that she was going to be at that event on that same day?
You know, I know that I'm not supposed to answer questions. You are there. I've said that before. Only to answer. But let me say this to you. This is only a bail application. And these pictures are from a footage.
Okay.
When we lead that evidence of the video footage, you will be able to see that there were other people that took part in this event. And actually talking about that, and you said yesterday that you are not going to comment because you don't know. The deceased, she was not running, she was walking due to her personal circumstances. The fact that she was 14 months pregnant.
14.
14 weeks, my apologies. 14 weeks pregnant. I'm just...
Yes, I respect this question by my learned colleague. May it be noted the issue about pregnancy only showed up in cross-examination. We didn't know a thing about it. And also, that good faith basis, allegations should not be made without any basis. If my learned colleague can just produce, because we know for a fact that the DNA is not there, clarify to the court as to whether they've got any documentation or any other source which informs the fact.
Appreciated. With greatest respect, Your Chief, part of the evidence that we have informed this court that we were in possession of, and a part of it was given to the defense, is please stop acting, sir. Your Chief, there's one problem that I'm having. Whenever that I'm addressing court, the attorney, that these actions, that is the honest truth. And at the time that they were given an opportunity, no matter whether the question I like or I do not, I was not acting. Stop doing that. We are in possession of the PM report. And at the PM report, can I just finish, Advocate?
On behalf of the attorney, I'm sorry if there's anything which is working on my colleague's nerves, but I can speak for myself and my attorney. We are not doing anything to distract. If he's doing it, we are sincerely sorry. We believe we have to act ethically, and that's what we strive for. If my left colleague is getting irritated about any other thing, we are sorry.
As I was saying, we are in possession of the PM report. In terms, and this will be provided, be given to the defense. There's no intention on the part of the state to ambush the defense. That is appearing in the PM report. You can note it. State is not bringing any information without the support.
With Mr. Bafana, then you may proceed.
Court,
You
please.
say she was walking because she was 14 weeks pregnant.
Yes, yeah, weeks, not months. Yes, yes, for sure. Yes, yes, yes. And that's when then she entered this gate. Surely you will not dispute that because you do not know. Is that the information that the state is in possession of? Huh?
Yes. Sorry, am I allowed to speak?
Yes.
Like, can you please explain to me, like, all over these pictures, from the gate, from this black gate here close to the Wendy house, from the picture by the board, from the trees, like, in my picture, there's none of these shadows. So, like, how was I following her 100 meters away? So, could I walk 100 meters and the sun decides to now move?
With regard to that, there is no explanation that I'm going to give to you, sir. Your advocate in presenting or even argument, surely is taking note of this. He's going to deal with it.
Okay.
Is it not correct that the very same gate, when you were presenting your evidence, you said that you do not know that gate? You have never seen before. Is it correct?
Correct.
Okay. But now, why are you appearing in that vicinity of that gate?
I was lost. That's how I got to the area.
And you don't recall that it's one of the places that you passed as you were looking for your way out. Is that what you are saying to us?
I don't
Recall. You are saying you were lost.
Yeah.
And you said yesterday or last week that
Yeah.
you do not know this gate.
Correct.
But now it's appearing in these pictures. Yeah.
That I'm
you
at the
passed-
place.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know the place. That's why I went inside the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did say that I did go inside the place. By the blue board, which you guys can also see in the picture.
Okay.
Which means I was telling the truth about the blue board that I took a picture of on my phone. As you can see around the picture too, it's there.
Okay.
And the black fence. There's the fence also.
Tell us this. I know that I might have asked these questions, or this question. The vehicles that belong to 24/7, as I said to you, were having the cell phone numbers. Why did you not actually use those numbers to call them?
I didn't know what to do. I wasn't even thinking straight. It was the first time that I come through a situation like this. I didn't know what to do.
Let's look at this in conclusion. This court is being presented evidence. You have testified. We have presented evidence by way of what? Of cross-examining you, putting our version to you. One of the things yesterday that you made mention of is that as far as you are concerned, you should be facing and be convicted of a charge of defeating ends of justice or concealing. You remember, you admitted.
I remember, yes.
And is it still your position?
That
that you are guilty of defeating the ends of justice. You are guilty. Is it your position? So that you answer. Is it correct that yesterday, when you were being led by your advocate, you indicated to this court that as far as you're concerned, you should be charged and be convicted of defeating ends of justice and or concealing the evidence. You remember that. It will be corrected if I put it wrong.
Let me assist. What I said was, the likelihood is that you might be charged for defeating the ends of justice. And I specifically referred to theft, which has to do with the top. And we even quantify an estimated amount of 250, which would be its cost price at a given store. That's what he said. So, and the other thing which I need to correct is that he never said, but even if he said it, we suffer no harm about it, that he will plead guilty. We said you are likely to be charged with. The guilty part of it will deal with it in the trial court, not in this court. Yeah, I think it helps a lot.
Thanks, appreciated.
Thank you.
Are you then telling us that on that day you committed an offense, although as far as you're concerned, it was not that of armed robbery, of murder, as well as rape? Are you saying on that day you committed an offense?
On that day, the crime that I committed was taking the clothes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And you knew at that stage that what you were doing amount to an offense?
Yeah.
Then why should we believe you and be prepared to release you on bail, whereas you are a criminal, you have committed an offense? That's what you said, that you understand very well that on that day you committed an offense. Why this court, what is it that you can present that I should be released on bail, whereas on that day you committed an offense?
I've never committed crime before, and also when the police came to me and asked me, I could have still denied it like people always deny, but I did say I did take the clothes. And when they asked me to open my phone, I didn't resist anything. They searched my room and all that stuff. I complied with everything, because I know that I didn't commit the crime. My only crime that I will agree to is that I did take the clothes and I did throw them away.
Yeah,
I'm not denying.
It is crime, sir.
Yes, I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it. But I'm not a criminal. That's one thing that's for sure.
You see, your problem is one, still you are not being honest to this court. Now the reason why I'm putting this to you, you wanted to present that picture of an honest person, whereas on that day you went beyond that by ensuring that the clothes of the deceased will never be recovered, concealing them, putting them in the drainage. What is your comment with regard to that?
I'm only human. We all make mistakes.
Is that a mistake?
Yes, it was.
Sir, I'll put to you that it's not a mistake. You are lying before this court. Remember, it's part and parcel of your evidence that you did not only place the items in that drainage. You took few steps and look whether will they be visible to other people. Remember, that's your evidence.
Yes.
Is that not so?
Yes.
Is that a mistake? Do you call that a mistake?
Like, I did not deny me throwing away the clothes or checking all of that stuff. I could have denied it, but I didn't, because I know that I didn't kill the person. Okay. All that I know is that what happened with me.
That action what you did, do you call it a mistake? Looking to establish whether are these visible or not. Do you call that a mistake?
No.
That's why I'm saying that. How do you convince me then? Because you've got a tendency of committing crimes. You stole first, that is theft. And you ensured that these items will never be recovered. Do you want us to believe that you are fit and proper person to be released on bail?
Yes, because you wouldn't hear. Okay, so
Proceed.
so like for me not to be released on bail. Okay, let's say you shouldn't release me on bail, right? Like, what crimes have I committed, or is this my first crime? Is it my first time being arrested?
Do you want me to answer?
No, like I'm saying, I've never been arrested for robbery. I haven't been arrested for theft. I haven't been arrested for snacks things. So I don't understand why I can't be released on bail. Like I'm going to run.
You remember one of the questions that I put to you is that a normal person will not have acted in the manner that you've acted. And then you said, yes, you agree. You remember?
I remember.
That's opinionated. And we object on that ground. It's opinionated.
He had already answered.
It's an opinion. It doesn't change the color of, if it's blue, it's blue. It's an opinion.
I'll proceed. You remember that was your answer, that you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I?
He still wants to answer, please.
Okay.
So like it doesn't make sense why you guys wouldn't want to give me bail, because after like the whole crime and all of that, I was still in Parkmore for 4 weeks until you guys got me on the 26th. Why didn't I go somewhere else if I was going to run? I waited, and when the police came, I saw them, asked them, you can even ask the investigating officer. I was standing at the kitchen window. I saw them coming in, and I stood, I didn't run.
Okay.
And he asked me about the picture once, and I agreed that it was me.
Okay. Are you done? The reason why is I'm still putting to you that a normal person will not act in that fashion. Remember, you have considered that you spent almost a month, although you wanted to be taken as a helper, without informing the state authorities about what you witnessed. You remember that?
I remember.
Do you want a person of that personality, that character, like yours, to be given bail?
Like
You don't deserve to
what
be
do you
given
mean?
bail.
What do you mean, my character?
Listen, your character, I'm putting to you, is that of a person who is not normal, as I said.
Again,
One,
I object. My learned colleague is not a specialist to distinguish
Now,
between.
let's we just use another word. It's not like a reasonable man.
yes,
Girl.
yes, yes.
The word normal has not been used only once, and it should be retracted even on previous occasions. Because my learned colleague is not an expert in that field. It's for psychologists. If he's talking about the brain, if he's talking about the body, it's medical doctors. He's none of those.
A reasonable man, the advocate will behave now, will not have acted in the manner that you've acted. And as such, the state will pray is going to bring an application before this court that you have not shown grounds for you to be released on bail. You are not fit and proper person. That will be the state argument.
Okay.
During argument.
No, cannot be. It's a legal question, and that is why my learned colleague qualifies, and I agree with him when he says, he speaks about grounds. It's a legal question. We'll be dealing with that in arguments. This witness is here to give facts. Arguments, I would do. As the court pleases, and if I'm overruled, I'll accept it.
There's nothing that prevents the applicant accused in saying that there is no comment. I do not understand the question. He has been doing that.
So the state is going to argue that you are not fit to be granted bail. Do you have any comment to that?
I don't see why I shouldn't be granted bail. It's already as if everyone is now saying I already killed the person. Why are people always given a chance to go outside on bail, but then when it's me now, I can't go outside on bail?
Listen, there are legal rules in this country. The reason why when we started, we said this is a Schedule 6 offense. And surely it was explained by my learned colleague that with regard to Schedule 6 offense, I know you do not know this. You will only be able to be granted bail if you show that there are exceptional circumstances that exist. It was explained, but surely, yes. But I'm going to ask for a short adjournment just for 15 minutes. It was something that the state needed to attend it. I'll proceed.
Adjourn until 1 o'clock.
Yes, sure.
How do I stand up?
Like now, the case is already happening, so it's out of my control to do anything now, but to only wait and see what happens.
But do you agree with me that you have already created a precedent? For example, when I look at you, I look at a person who is capable of concealing evidence because of your previous action.
Yes,
You agree with me?
I understand.
That is why then I will argue that you are capable of, or you will be capable of doing that. To tell us this, you will correct me or put it in the right way. If,
Okay.
yeah. One of the things that you mentioned when I put to you that the reason why you did not take the cell phone, you remember I said that is due to the fact that you knew very well that if you take the cell phone, you will be tracked, you will be followed, and you will be easily arrested. You remember that question?
Yes.
And your answer was that if you wanted to take it, you are going to take the phone and ensure that something is done so that it cannot be tracked. You remember, although you did not put it in the manner that I'm putting. You remember that's what you said, that is always happening.
Yes, I remember.
What did you really meant by that? Were you telling us that you're one of the people that are capable of destroying evidence? For example, as you're saying to us that if I wanted, I would have taken the phone and take it somewhere so that anything that will follow me can be deleted. Is it your character? Is that what you're telling us?
No, what I'm saying is that, like, people are always selling stolen items,
Yeah.
but they are not in prison.
Yes.
So how are they selling the stolen items while not in prison?
Okay.
So, like, to me, it's like, how would it have been found? Like, it should have been found on them if that was the case. If, like, you guys were going to track it and then find me. Like, it should have started with them, because there's always people also steal phones and post them on Facebook. So everyone sees these stolen items.
Yeah.
But, like, the phones don't have boxes and all of that, no charges, but they're not under arrest.
Okay. And as such, what you're saying to us is that even yourself, you could easily do that and not be followed.
I'm not saying I could easily do that and be followed, but I didn't have a reason to take the phone.
Yeah, but let's leave that part. I'm just interested in your explanation yesterday,
Okay.
which you are explaining again in a manner in which you explained that here in South Africa, people can easily go away having committed a crime. Am I
True.
right?
True.
Yeah. And as such, even yourself, you will do that.
I commit a crime and get away with it?
Yes.
No.
Just 1 minute, Bishop. Is it only one aspect of the done? One of the things that you mentioned yesterday was that if you are facing a lesser charge, for an example, that of defeating the ends of trustees,
Yes.
you will not need to flee or to run away. I'm not quite sure whether I'm putting, you'll correct me, or if you still remember, can you repeat your comment, what you said with regard to that aspect?
Like with regard to me?
Committing the lesser charge. For an example, that came when we were talking, or when you were being led by your attorney, that if the charge, if the state were to charge you, the only charge that you'll be faced with, it will be that of what? Of theft or defeating the ends of justice. Yeah, and as a result, there will be no need of you to flee. You remember that?
Yes.
But do you realize that now you are facing a serious charges? Do you realize that?
I'm aware.
Okay. And one of the things that were addressed by my learned colleague is a question, what we call, in terms of Section 60, what we call the public outcry. You remember you were asked about that, and you said that as far as you're concerned, you are of the view that your release on bail will not result in a public outcry. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. You even went ahead and actually informed the court that you are of the view, if you are released, you will be indoors. You will not even go to the malls. You recall that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But do you realize that in talking about the public outcry, you're released on bail will result in the public being very disturbed due to the fact that this is a serious offense.
May I object? And if I'm overruled, it's okay. But my objection is grounded on the following. The issue of the public outcry, client wouldn't know much about it because he's in custody. Was the first point. And unless my learned colleague produces an affidavit which says so, then there would be a sound basis to put such an affidavit.
In answering to that, Shashif, the state will submit and argue that there is no need for affidavit. The reason why I'm saying that, we are here in court today, and we've got eyes. We say what is happening in court. We've got people who are members of what is called the GBV. They've got an interest in this case. The fact that the media, although they've got a lot to do, they are here. The whole country has got an interest in this case. Now, there is no need to bring an affidavit. Even the applicant himself can say that the public is very interested in this case. Or am I wrong, sir?
May I respond to that, Mr. That members of the public are not only of those who are against GBV and only for the deceased. We also have members of the public who strongly believe otherwise. So, and that on its own stands to be argued at a later stage.
The book will request the witness to answer, and I'm going to ask you the question. Do you know whether there would be a public outcry should this court reach your back?
No, ma'am.
Nothing further.
May I be seated in the
there's certain aspects of your evidence that is not clear to this court, and therefore I'm going to ask you questions in the interest of justice, just to clarify.
Yes, ma'am.
Please correct me if I understood your evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
Misunderstood your evidence. As I understand your evidence, you testified that you noticed something in the bush.
Yes, ma'am.
You were curious, and then you went to the place where you found the body.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you moved or tried to move the body with your foot.
Yes, ma'am.
You realized there's some weight behind this. Then you moved the blanket or the rag or whatever was on top of this. And then you realized it is a woman.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand your evidence correctly?
Yes.
Now.
Yes, ma'am.
Then she was lying on her
On her side. Yes, ma'am.
Now, maybe you can clarify to the court, was she lying on her side with the one arm underneath her, touching the ground, and the other one on the side facing upwards? Right? You understand what I mean?
Yes, ma'am, I do, ma'am. So, ma'am, should I show you an example?
Just explain by using words, maybe that will help me.
Okay, so, ma'am, like, you see, like, laying on the bed like this, like, on this part. So then, like, someone that's laying.
So one arm was extended.
Yeah, like,
and
sleeping
flattened,
on some type.
lying on
Yes, ma'am, some type of that,
it.
yes.
The other one was lying on the side.
Like, not like on the side of it, but like laying this way.
Little bit over forward.
Yes, ma'am.
towards the
Yeah, like, almost like to the stomach, towards the stomach side. Yes, ma'am.
So then I understand your evidence. You took both hands by the upper arm
Yeah, and-
close to the hip. You rolled the over
Yes,
arm to the
ma'am.
back.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you tested, or then you wanted to see whether she was still alive.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, then you touched the throat with the back of your hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Felt her pulse. Then you placed your
My ear.
close to her heart.
Yes, ma'am.
You heard your heartbeat, and then you put your ear close to your mouth, and there was no breathing.
Yes, ma'am.
If I understood your evidence correctly, the only injuries you saw was a scratch.
The scratch on the face. Yes, ma'am. And
the
like
throat was
a swollen throat. Yes, ma'am.
So at that stage, what did you think happened to this woman?
Like, ma'am, like on my point of view, it looked like she'd been like murdered to me and then like thrown there, like at that place.
Sorry, I don't understand. Why do you say you think she was murdered?
Because, ma'am, like what else could it have been? Because she's just laying like in a public place, and like she's covered. Like, I think like if like it was a normal like pass away like of sickness or something, it would have been at hospital or at home, and like it wouldn't have been like murder, crimes, and all of that. It would have been like a normal pass away.
So you did not think she might have had a heart attack or something like that?
Like the cause of death.
Yeah.
No, after I saw what's on her body, no, couldn't have been from a heart attack. Yes,
Sorry, why do you say so?
because of the marks, like the swollen throat and the cheek. Yeah.
And that is when you decided to take off her clothes? Is that correct?
Yeah, I only decided to take off the clothes like after I realized that she passed away.
And I understand your reason for doing so was because you were afraid the fingerprints will be on her clothes.
Correct, ma'am.
Was that the only reason?
Yes, ma'am.
And you explained to the court you started to take off the shirt.
Yes, ma'am.
At that stage, when you rolled her over, did you have oil or something on your hand or
No,
something that would make a print on the clothing?
I wouldn't per se. I really didn't know much about the fingerprints. I just know that if you touch something, like your fingerprints stay there. Yes, ma'am.
I understand. So when you rolled her over, I know she was lying on her back, but where was her arms?
Like when I rolled her over, yo, ma'am, I can't really confirm how her arms were when I rolled her over.
And her legs?
But like, I think the legs were like, just like rolled over, like just laying there. Like they just moved with the body and like just stood up straight.
So both legs were lying straight on the ground.
Yes, I think they were both on the ground when I turned her over, ma'am.
And her arms were covering them.
I can't really recall, ma'am.
This is the part I wanted to explain to you because I really don't understand the evidence. You testified you pulled off her clothes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I do not understand how that you managed to pull off her clothes.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
explain that to me?
The shirt or
Yeah, start with the shirt.
so, ma'am, like the shirt, like I just like got it from here and then I just like pulled it up
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
You're showing that you took the shirt
from like here.
from the bottom.
Yeah, and then I just
you
pulled it up. Yes, ma'am.
Right. She's now lying on the floor.
She's now lying on the floor.
Ground.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Where were you when you did this?
Like meaning, ma'am?
When you standing? When you pulled
Uh,
that shirt from the bottom?
Like I think I was standing like on her side or something.
On the side?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the right side or the left side, but I think I was standing from the side and then I pulled off the shirt.
Right. So how did you get the shirt off her arms?
Like it just pulled it up, like it went up, went right off.
You didn't need to sit her up and put it
No, it
over here.
went right off, like from the back it went right off.
Right off.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were standing on the side of her.
Yeah, like I think I was like pulling it from the side.
And then you took off the tankies.
Yes, when I took off the tackies to take the pants.
Pants.
Yes, ma'am.
And was she wearing socks?
I don't think so. I don't think so,
And
ma'am.
was she wearing a bra?
No,
And was she wearing a panty?
no, I don't think so.
So when you took off her shirt, when you took off
The pants,
tight,
the ski pants, the tights. Yes,
she
ma'am.
was totally naked.
I think she was totally naked because I just pulled off the pants also, and yes, ma'am.
Right. And on the rest of her body when she was not naked, did you see any other injuries?
On the body, like it's injuries of, like I think like she might have got that when she was like maybe thrown there or something, like from the plants or something. Like if like she had injuries on her body.
What type of injuries? Was it bruising? Bruises?
I'd say like small scratches.
Scratches?
Yeah, small scratches, if I'd super say.
Not deep scratches?
No.
Shallow?
Yes, ma'am, like you have a pimple and then you scratch it and it opens up. Yes, ma'am.
Right. So
Her cap was lying there, at, like close to the blanket. Yes, ma'am.
Then I understand your evidence. You connected the cap, you took the t-shirt,
The pants,
the shoes, and you took off your shirt.
I took off my shirt, wrapped the pants.
In your shirt.
Correct, ma'am.
And then you decided to throw these items away.
Yes, ma'am.
That includes your other shirt.
No, I like got my shirt. I just threw away the clothes that I took. I have my shirt.
Oh,
I don't know if the police took it because I gave them some of the clothes.
oh, sorry, then I misunderstood. So you didn't take the bundle that you wrapped the clothes in that included
My shirt.
and you pushed it into the drain.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't do that.
No, like what? Sorry, please repeat.
Let me just try again. I understand that you took her clothes and you wrapped it in your shirt.
Yes, ma'am.
That you were wearing her shirt.
Yes.
So when you decided to throw these items away, did it include your shirt as well, or did you take your shirt in?
I think I was holding my shirt and then I just pushed her clothes in and then I took my shirt.
Oh.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
what did you do with her shirt that you were wearing?
I think I threw it in a bin.
In the bin?
Yes, in the bin.
Sorry.
But the cap also, I put the cap with the clothes in the drain.
So where did you throw the shirt in the bin?
Like somewhere like around that street. Somewhere around that
You
street.
shoved the other stuff.
The other stuff in, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you took off the shirt again, you put on your shirt again, and then you shoved her shirt
I
into the
threw-
dustbin.
I threw her shirt in the dustbin. Yes, ma'am.
So, in your evidence, and if I'm wrong, the evidence is that the reason why you did this is you did not want to get involved.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, can you explain to the court, what do you mean, what do you mean if you say, I did not want to get involved?
Like, ma'am, the meaning of that is me touching the deceased and then just leaving the scene. So, like, it would come back to me, like, with my fingerprints, and then it would be blamed on me.
Getting involved, you were afraid that you will be arrested and charged for the murder of this woman.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is the exactly same reason why you didn't contact the security officers or authorities like police officers.
Yes, ma'am. I was just avoiding to go to prison or be in trouble.
Mr. Sandton.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. I must say your questions, Your Worship, are concise and precise to the core issues, insofar as the merits are concerned. And I will take it from there. Yesterday you left your photos there, isn't it?
Yes.
And today you never got them, or you took them with?
No, I only got the ones I received now.
Yes, the ones which you got yesterday, you left them there. Today they're not there, isn't it?
Yes.
So we had to use our photos for when the questions were raised. Did you realize that?
Oh, I didn't notice it.
Yeah, because your photos are not there. So why am I saying this, Your Worship? Is that from time to time I won't be able to say exhibit whatever. We will show you the photos because he left his photos there, and we cannot say who took them because it's a public place. But let me start on this one to take you from where the Honorable Magistrate stopped. You remember when my learned colleague, Mr. Bafana, was asking you questions, he said, I raised an issue about the pregnancy issue. You remember?
Yes, sir.
And he said they have a document which will show that the late Kirsten Kluyts was 18 weeks pregnant. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And that was not produced. I think it could be for some mistake on it. And it's a genuine one. I have, however, what they call a medical legal autopsy report. Your Worship, it's one of the documents which were given by the state in an envelope. And at the top it's written provisional report GR number 3495/2023. Does Your Worship have it? But there is an envelope which Mr. Bafana availed for all of us. And I remember Your Worship was asking for the envelope, but there is a medical legal autopsy which I can show to the court, and then we'll make copies if need arises. Later on, one of the documents we should receive from the state now, is Your Worship reading it? Because I'm going to request that my client be given that document. And I'll inform, yes. You remember, as we are getting this document, let's come here first. Let me clarify on this issue. Remember, my little colleague asked you about towers, and he spoke about time around about 7:35. Remember?
Yes.
Putting you somewhere at a tower, right?
Yes.
And then it spoke about 7:35. He showed you a photo of the late Kirsten Kluyts walking, and according to him, he was getting into the George Lee Park. Remember?
Yes.
And on that photo, this time mentioned there, it's
5 minutes past 8.
5 minutes past 8. And he never told you precisely, approximately at what time did the issue of the death occur. Do you remember that?
Yes.
He never told you how the body landed there, isn't it?
Yes.
He never also told you, let me stop it at that. Now, he never told you about an eyewitness who saw you with the body. You haven't heard about anyone.
Yes.
And he referred to what is contained in the affidavits of the IO and the private investigator. I guess no one of the two would be an eyewitness. Okay?
Yes.
So I'm simply saying to you, no name was mentioned of an eyewitness who saw you.
Yes.
I'll deal with the circumstantial part of it later on. And I'll show to this court that there are various possibilities here. But let me start with this one. This is a medical legal autopsy report which mentions a different time. Now I beg leave to grant you this document, read it into the record, and it's coming from the state stockhead.
Once again, I'm reporting.
And we must compare 735, 805 with the time reflected on the medical thing. Just read it from the top. Case, it says provisional report number
3495 2023.
Yes, continue to read.
Bramfontein, Republic of South Africa, Gauteng Provincial Government, Health Medical Legal Autopsy Report, GW7/15.
Continue, please.
To the Magistrate of Johannesburg, I, Dr. Thandi Mahululu, do hereby certify that a medical legal laboratory, MLL Johannesburg, on the first day of November 2023, commencing at 10:30, to be precise, 10:36. I examined the body of an adult white female. This body was identified to me by Forensic Pathology Officer T.V. Manzini of MLL Johannesburg as being that of DR 3495/2023, whose reputed age is 34 years, and that the death occurred on the 29th of October 2023 at 10:30, as I am informed. Chief post-mortem findings made by me on this body were blunt force head trauma, that's the cause of death was blunt head force trauma, strangulation, smothering, or pressure to the neck cannot be excluded. Signature and yeah.
Does it mention at what time that person refers to a time as to at what time that person died?
10:30.
It says that person died at 10:30 as informed.
As informed.
And then he doesn't mention as to who informed him about the 10:30. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, this creates another time which is different from the 7:35, 8:05, and the 10:30, isn't it?
Yes.
Now let's count. 7, and you must understand, they mentioned 7:35 to 8:05, how much time?
7:35. That's like 30 minutes.
30 minutes, right?
For my greatest apologies. Before the witness answers to that, the timeline 7:35, at no stage did state submit that that is the time that the deceased died. That was the time that allegedly the witness was at the scene of crime. And then 8:04, that was the time when the deceased was taken photo. If I'm not wrong, I think it will be misleading to the court to say that the argument from the side of the state is that the deceased passed away or died at 7:35. I just wanted to be clear on that.
Okay, let me clarify it. In no way, implicitly or expressly, am I saying 7:35 is the time in which the deceased died. The state never said anything about the time of death. We should be crystal clear about it. But, Your Worship, heard me referring to no eyewitness. The reason I'm raising this, I'm now dealing with circumstantial evidence. And I have to do that because in my thinking, if there's no eyewitness, circumstantial evidence also has equal weight as you would compare with direct evidence.
Just may I raise another aspect, pardon personal question. We all know as prosecutors, as advocates, but there's a purpose for chief examination. There's a purpose for cross-examination. Examination, and we know the reason for that. The only reason is to clarify issues. Just to clarify certain issues with regard to the answers that were given, not to raise new.
May I answer, Your Worship? Worship, I am well aware about cross-examination and its purpose, examination in chief, and re-examination. These questions I'm raising now are stemming from the cross-examination. And Worship will remember that Your Worship has photos which were not furnished to us. Right? Now, bail applications, as per words by my learned colleague, are inquisitorial, informal, and they are not about the guilt or acquittal of accused person. Now, what my learned colleague, it would seem, suggests that this, and he is the one who promised that there is a document which he'll give to me. Now, I must sit with this document, which might assist the court to arrive at a just and fair verdict, and keep it to myself, and then it is only the state's version. We received this document from the state, not from any other source. So about its existence, it cannot be new evidence. And all relevant material, times when they gave it to us here in court, they knew about this document. And now this document clarifies the point that times mentioned, 735, 8 over photos which were given. I can't just leave it as open as is. My learned colleague doesn't want it to be in precisely because it shows what a source, a reliable source, says from their docket, and maybe they overlooked that. I'll refer my learned colleague to an authority versus R versus Hepworth. I'll refer my learned colleague to Herhold also. That the court is not just a figurehead. The court is here to ensure that fairness and justice prevails. This accused is faced with very, very gruesome, heinous charges. And I would be failing grossly in not presenting this evidence. But if Honorable Court says, I don't want this evidence, and no one is saying to us it's irrelevant, why aren't they saying it's irrelevant? Now, let me also make another example, which is a living example. My colleague was in court, and I discussed it with my attorney. By the way, I wish to also introduce Mr. Makanya because he's here with me. That in a normal course in a trial, magistrates will clarify after both the state and the defense have presented. But in a bail application, it's a flexible instrument because it's not dealing. We are dealing with the merits here precisely because we want to show the cogency of the state case that is so weak. And we have to, when you deal with the state weakness case, you can't leave direct and circumstantial evidence, because if you do so, then the court will obviously arrive at an unfair conclusion. So, my learned colleague's application, the greatest respect, I do not agree with, and I have a request that it be dismissed. If you were in a civil court, I would have said with cost.
Right. What will allow the defense to proceed, Mr. Bafana, if at the end of this evidence led by the defense you feel the need to cross-examine, the court will grant you that opportunity. Mr. Masako, you may proceed.
Thank you very much. Worship, before I proceed, may I ask Mr. Bakari to avoid a situation like this, to avail the document which he earlier promised us and we didn't receive, so that we deal with one thing. Remember, Your Worship, when I referred to the issue of pregnancy, what his response was. So may I have that document?
Indeed, so, Your Worship, the state is in possession of the document. It's original, but it can be used now as our attorneys will give, will be given an opportunity maybe to make a copy for them.
We will also make a copy of, does the state have the red copy?
What?
The autopsy report?
No, I can't afford it.
Okay. I'll request that they make a copy for the court, please.
Is the original and as my make copies for the offence court as well as for the state.
Here's the solution. And I realize the document which I have given to my client is page 2 of 11. And then here I have 10 of 11. As to what is contained from 1 and to 1, skipping 2, 3 to 9, and the 11th, I don't know. But we have, what we have is here. Now, let's deal with that document. I shouldn't lose sight. Does that document now show a different time as per information which we see there?
Yes, it shows a different time.
What is the time?
10:30.
10:30. And he says, person died at 10:30 as informed.
Yes.
We do not know who is the source, right?
Yes.
May I beg leave that it be let me permanently admitted by the court, but we'll make copies. Okay. Well, I would have requested for the full post-mortem, but I'll live with what I have.
Is there mark exhibit M?
Exhibit M. Oh, this one also, may I, oh good Lord, may I then deal with this one? It's important. That exhibit? M. Maybe M1 and this one that I have would be M2. It's from the same report. I am not going to deal with 1920, but I need my client to read 26 into the record. M1, 2, you mark it? Just read 25, leave every other thing. If the state wants to read through the record, we'll do that.
Just number 25.
25, where it's marked with a red pen.
Okay.
It means somebody has seen it and they marked it.
Okay. Should I?
Read it.
Pelvic walls.
No, start at the top as to what is it.
Oh, should I? Provisional report DR number 3495/2023.
It's almost, it's the same copy. If you look at the one which you have,
It's the same.
it's page 2.
Yeah.
Look at the bottom, page 2.
Page 2 of 11.
That one is
10 of 11.
10 of
11.
11. Read the second one, paragraph 25.
The number 25, right?
Yes.
Pelvic walls intact and showed no abnormalities.
You see, you don't read the whole thing. Read the whole 25.
It's the whole 25.
The commission might just have a look. 26. Then move to 26. I beg your pardon. 26 is more crucial. That one also is important. You want to undermine. 26.
Genital organs. There were no obvious injuries noted on the external genitalia, labia, anus, perineal area, and the vaginal canal. The uterus contained a male fetus weighing 54 grams, whose estimated gestational age is plus minus 14 weeks.
What do you understand from that? I know you are not a medical student, and I'll tell you why. You showed pictures earlier. You are not a medical student, but what do you understand from that?
From my understanding of this
is... You know genitalia?
Genitalia?
Yes.
Isn't it like the insides or something of a woman?
They say there are no injuries on?
Like the private parts. The private parts.
The private parts.
Yes.
No, he answered your worship. It says private parts. And you can see what it says, huh?
Yes.
Right. It's talking about the private parts.
Yes.
Okay. May M1 and M2 be admitted into evidence, please?
Mark, M1 and 2.
Give it to... Bishop, with court's permission, may I then move to deal with... Let me move to deal with... There are photos which were shown today. We don't have copies. And I guess, again, it could have been a mistake. Maybe when you exchanged, my colleague was busy. But may court be so kind to just borrow them to us? Or we can ask questions. Yeah, the photos, please, which was shown.
Bishop, I'm in possession of which photos is my learned colleague referring to?
From the autopsy. Yes.
Okay. Oh, they are in court. It's the original. They are in court.
Let me tell you, that report on its own says a million words. You don't have to even embellish it. Okay.
Yes.
Remember, you were shown pictures, it's Exhibit L, which cannot be shown to the public. And I'm sorry to traumatize you, but we have to do. These pictures are also from, I guess, the same document, because I can see Provisional Report DRN 34595/2023. Is this the same? Same as the one which you read?
Yes.
And this is page 4 of 11. Okay?
Yes.
5 of 11, 6 of 11, 7 of 11, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me start you with, do you know where these photos come from?
I'm guessing they come from the forensics.
Do you know when were they produced?
No.
Do you know who took them?
No.
And do you know after how many days were they taken?
No.
And we have established now 7:35, 8:05, 10:30, right?
Yes.
Now, you, with these pictures, is that what you saw on the day when you met with the body covered with a rag?
No, it
Was it in this state
no.
when you left it?
Yeah.
I'm saying when you left it, was it in this state?
No.
And you wouldn't know what happened thereafter?
No.
You see, there's a picture which confirms some of the things which you saw. Let me show you picture number 7 of 11. Just show you the part of the neck, and then tell the court as to. Do you see that picture there? Just have a look at the neck. Is that what you saw?
Mm-mm.
Is that what you saw?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Even
Answer no.
No.
I don't want to show you these pictures. I'm holding it to you because I'm also not at this thing. But now paragraph 3 of this same 4 of 11 reads, secondary post-mortem changes. The body was cold to the touch and had been refrigerated prior to autopsy. Right? There was nothing, yeah, no. What I'm simply trying to say, you don't know as to whether this body was prior to the autopsy or before autopsy.
Yes.
And all this which is here, you're seeing it for the very first time.
Yes.
On this board.
Yes.
Okay. You didn't even see the injury on the mouth?
No.
Okay. Let me have the pictures to give you. Right. Now we know. The issue of Susumani, we're not asked the question, it's common cause, right?
Yes.
And then I wish to come back. I mean, Susumani is the issue about the pajama party and so on.
Yes.
It seems the state has not gone there.
Yes.
Let's get to the terms. You, in your own words, said, about time I cannot estimate. My phone will show the precise time.
Yes.
Do you have your phone with you?
No.
Where is it?
The police took it.
If they needed the time, would they get all the information from your phone?
Yes.
Now, the issue of 7:35, you being at a tower as they mentioned, does it naturally mean, even if you were at the George Lee Park, at the time 7:35 or shortly before or after, you were there murdering, robbing, and raping this person?
Doesn't mean that.
So you still insist that about the times, and you are not trying to hide the truth by saying that. The reliable time is on your phone.
It's on my phone.
Good. You took pictures of the restaurant and
The gate.
the gate.
The blue board that was on the picture.
Let's get to those pictures. You said something about those pictures, and I remember vividly my learned colleague said, you're talking about the trees and shadows and so on.
Yes.
And my learned colleague says, you are here to ask questions, and I do not want, I'm not here to ask questions. So let's deal with what you wanted to say at the time.
Okay.
What are you saying about the issue that you are following the deceased person by showing you those pictures?
Okay. So, like, according to the prosecutor, he said that I was following the deceased approximately 100 meters away. So, if I was following the deceased and I was only 100 meters away, does it make sense for me to walk 100 meters and all of a sudden there's no longer shadows?
Yes.
Because in my picture, there's literally no shadow at the gate, here by the trees on the right side, there's shade by the gate. Like, there's no shade in my picture. Here you can see there's trees, there's shade on the right side, there's shade on the left bottom side of the picture, there's shade by the gate, there's shade by the other gate close to the Wendy. So it can't be 100 meters. How do I follow them and I don't have shade in my photo?
Now, does that picture show at what time were you standing there at the boat?
It does not.
Do you know where this picture comes from?
No.
You don't know who took it?
No.
According to him, the lady was taken by someone whose name was not mentioned, remember?
Yeah.
Now, my fundamental question, as you were standing at that board, as is shown on the picture, which has no time, date, and stuff, right?
Yes.
Were you having in your head an intention to can harm, kill, rob, do all those charges preferred against you, rape someone?
No, my only intention was to go look at the menu and see what's going on in the area. No.
And formulations in your head that someone may have to kill at a particular time.
No.
What other pictures
There is a picture of the gate, of some gate.
does it show time? Do you know where it comes from?
No.
And does it show time?
It says here 18:53, 37 seconds.
1853.
Yeah. Oh, 10:53, 37 seconds.
Oh, that one says 10:53 now.
Yeah.
Okay. We didn't know. We now know that there are two affidavits to be tendered in this bail application. And it's the affidavit of the investigating officer and the private investigator. Right?
Yes.
So, do you know anything about these private investigators? Did you meet any private investigator who told you I'm investigating you?
No.
No. Now, do you know this private investigator who has deposed of an affidavit?
No.
So, which means you don't know him? And if you were knowing him, would you want to harm him?
No.
And let's then proceed to deal with the issue of the cell phone. I want to deal first with the issue of, at some point, you ask about theft and obstructing the ends of justice. You don't know, you are not a legal person, but you said you won't deny that, right?
Yes.
Right. Good. And my learned colleague intimated as follows. You were there with the body, took the clothes, concealed the clothes in a drain, and then if you're released on bail, you might conceal evidence. Is there any evidence to conceal bail?
No.
And tell us this one. During the time period of the 29th of October, up until the time when you were arrested on the 26/11, right, 2023,
Yes.
did you commit any crimes during those times?
No.
Why didn't you commit a crime? Because it seems at some point you are looked at as a criminal.
Because I don't want to end up in jail, so I don't commit crime.
Yes. Let's come back to where the body was. There's evidence to the effect that you saw a phone, cell phone, and keys, car keys lying there. Did you take them?
No.
Right, let's deal with this one first. Why did you opt not to take the cell phone?
Because that's not the reason I was there. Like, I didn't come there to, like, steal stuff or try to get money.
The keys which you saw were the car keys.
I can't really per se what keys they were, but I saw keys there.
Why didn't you take them?
What would I do with the keys?
Now, this question comes. As to whether this person, the lady was walking or running, do you know anything?
No.
Do you know anything about my run?
No.
Do you know what time it starts?
No.
Do you know who, the one who they say took the photo of the lady?
No.
If you would take photos there?
No.
You said something in your own words, and let's touch this. Because my learned colleague dealt with the issue of the public outcry. And I asked you a question, and deliberately so. You said in your own words You had to run because it was a lady and also a white person that made you to run. I ask you, what if it were a black lady? Do you remember what was your response?
Yes.
Yes. What did you say?
I think I said that, like, it would have been better if it was a black person, because, like, we know how the issue between black people and white people is. Like, it's like we're in competition.
Let's come to the public outcry issue. And this case is not to be determined by the we're not
Yes.
pushing the ticket. Pushing it on facts, evidence, and the law.
Yes.
Now, it's so clear. Not here to impress anybody. Public outcry. My learned colleague referred to, I showed you one of the exhibits where a hand says, stop domestic violence. You remember what was the response?
Yes.
What did you say?
I said, like, it's something I saw at school.
And do you support it or not?
I do support it.
Yes. Now, public outcry. You have parents, right?
Yes.
You have your mom.
Yes.
You have your siblings.
Yes.
How many are they?
I have 5.
You're the 5th
I'm
one.
the 5th one. I'm a part of the 5 siblings.
Okay.
It's
Due respect, I do not understand the way that my learned colleague is actually proceeding this issue. These are the issues that were raised yesterday. As I said, my understanding is this is only for people's clarity sake. Are we going to spend the whole day and tomorrow repeating one and the same thing? I don't think it would a state is a problem.
Well, Worship, when you talk about public, it involves everyone. But anyway, let me shelve it. I'll argue it at the stage. But would you agree with me that public involves both races?
yes.
My learned colleague asked you, and it was him who asked you about the charges preferred, as in treatment meditators and so on, right? And then later on asked you about theft and obstructing, and he wanted to imply that if you were to be found guilty. Now let's start with this one. Let's assume the state elects, we cannot decide for. The state elects that, be as it may, we are going to continue with the charges as they stand. Would that make you to flee?
No.
You stay in the country and abide by the orders of the court.
I know I didn't do anything wrong, so I don't have a reason to run.
Bishop, I may request 5 minutes break. If it is granted to my colleague, I can inform you. Right? Just leave it.
If someone takes a run up.
Okay, can I change my last bed?
2 days to get to the point and then you want to What did you want to say? But these photos, why do they not have timestamps? The video shows the timestamps. Okay.
State records case number RC772. 23. Bafana.
Okay. It's a command. I'll comply. Okay.
So, still under oath, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You have a lot of exercises giving me some time. Doesn't want to see me anymore. Cause for the injuries on the body which were shown, the photos today. Do you know what is the cause?
No.
And let's get to the issue of your sunglasses, which were in your room and so on.
Yes.
Do they look the same with the one which was shown on the picture?
I didn't see sunglasses on the picture.
The sunglasses which the deceased is wearing in one of the photos, they were shown to you.
No.
They're not the same.
No.
Did you show the police the ones, your sunglasses?
Yes.
And they never found any of the
No.
other kind, right?
No.
Good. Now, you were also told about cell phone towers, and Melanie could call them bases or station, right? You are not an expert in cell phone towers and what have you and so on. And
Yes.
but what he was trying to illustrate is the issue of time. Right. Now, what would you say if I put it to you that about the towers? Let me start it in this fashion. According to you, where does Sandton start?
Sandton. It starts here in Wynberg, close to Sandton View.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is this Sandton, which is in where?
Sandton View.
Yeah, Sandton View.
It's here in Wynberg.
In Wynberg.
Yeah.
Is the Sandton view part of the Sandton which is in Sandton, deep in Sandton?
No.
So, what would you say if I say to you that about the phones, it is the strongest tower which picks you up as to where you are?
Yes.
Okay? And what would you say that my learned colleague referred to the IO and the security guard, that they'll come and testify, and I guess the other one will talk about the cell phone towers. And are they experts in these phones?
No.
In issues about towers?
No.
And do you bear any knowledge about the chain of custody as to how the deceased was moved from the place to be put and so on and so forth after leaving the body?
No.
Now, I think I want to ask one last question before my colleague gets impatient with me. For just 1 second, Your Worship. Issue which I touched. We dealt with the postmortem. Yeah. So. Just 1 second, Your Worship. Just one. Okay, I guess my learned colleague dealt with the issue about you meet this body which is dead and you unclothe it, and according to him, you are not normal. What's your comment to that?
I'd say I'm normal. If I wasn't normal, then how did I complete high school? How did I complete crash? How did I complete primary? I was never expelled.
My learned colleague referred to you failing at your college.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe he's never failed before.
And does failing have anything to do with you meeting with the body?
No.
And you will agree with me that he asked you as to who are the persons which you told this gruesome story. And you mentioned Norma. Okay? You will recall earlier on that I informed you in my examination in chief that Norma, your institution, the college,
Yes.
has suspended you.
Yes.
And Norma is working for that institution, is that not so?
Since Norma's working for Varsity College.
But is she working? Where is she working?
I'm not sure. All I know is that she's a divorce attorney.
Divorce attorney.
Yeah.
But why is he at the Varsity College?
Why is she at the Varsity College? No, she stays with our caretaker. The caretaker is he accommodates the students for Varsity College and Boston.
Okay. Then my little colleague kept on asking you the question as to which witnesses are you going to call and testify. Did we have any time, me and you, as we're getting these documents from in court, to discuss which witnesses are we going to call?
No.
Am I right to say some documents, the brown envelope which had what I requested from Thursday was given to me in your presence in court, right?
Yes.
And I was seeing for the very first time. Did you see it before?
No.
Did I have time to consult with you after receiving it when I received it in court?
No.
Today, we received M1 and M2. Did we consult about that?
No.
We just went on and on, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. What other thing did I forget now, which also came as a surprise, which is totally unprecedented in my life? I've never seen it happening before. Is fact that report which you read, the second one,
Yes.
says something about genitals, you saw?
Yes.
And it speaks for itself, right?
Yes.
And we don't dispute what is contained in it,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Now, my learned colleague, when he was about to conclude, he asked you questions as follows. Your advocate asked you a question as to whether is there any other information which you want to give. Were you hiding any information?
No.
When you said you're thinking and you're thinking. Now, in closing, somebody has died, right? What would you say to the family?
I'd say I'm sorry for their loss.
Caused by you?
No, I'm sorry for their loss in general. And then
Indebted to the court, that concludes my... Sorry? Oh, yeah, thank you. The issue about, do you know what is a reasonable person? Because it's a legal term, if I can tell you. Reasonable person. Have you heard this word before?
Yeah, I've heard it before.
If they say to you, you behaved like an unreasonable person, what would you say after seeing the body being shocked and undressing it and running? Is that unreasonable according to you?
No, like it all depends on your emotions, what you're feeling at the moment.
What were you feeling?
I was shocked, I was traumatized, I was in fear.
Yeah, now I'll explain these words. What does shock mean to you?
Shock to me is like something just hit you, like you're not expecting it.
What does trauma mean to you?
Trauma is something that it's bothering you, like it's you're not used to it.
You spoke about three things: shock, trauma, and
Fear.
fear. What does fear mean to you?
You're scared, like you don't want to be involved. It's like a dog chasing you. You know it's gonna bite you, so you run.
Okay,
Fear.
I conclude.
Mr. Bafana, any questions? And I'm only going to allow you on the one, and that is the post-mortem review for the time. Anything that you want to ask the witness about that?
Now, with regard to what we should we did to consider the station function, there's also two things that one needs to ask. But, yes. Okay.
The witness may speak only to the witness box.
Yes, go back inside here.
The papers.
You may, the papers are just bring them back. It's, I think, how many minutes to 3? I've got that 10 minutes. My last colleague spoke about 3. Your Worship, we are applicants in this matter. May I address? We had no clue about the grounds of refusal by the state. We heard for the very first time today that they will use affidavits, and my learned colleague hinted on the grounds which they rely upon in opposing our bail application. Now, what is ethically right and morally correct in the circumstances is that I have to address this honorable court because we didn't know what's coming and we had to keep our ducks in a row. And we made promises under that context. It has dawned upon us that we had promised, it has dawned upon us that we should take a different view. And we submit as follows. The father, as earlier promised, won't be caught. Why? It's common cause that he is the father, and we have used documents by the father to show residential address that this young boy is not parentless and that he is South African. And Worship must take note of the fact that in the cross-examination that was not disputed. So it's no more a contentious issue. We had promised to call Abigail, who would have come to give an alibi about the 28th. No single question focused on the 28th. We safely assume that it's not in dispute. We had promised to call Norma, but upon a meticulous pondering, we...
Apologies for my learned colleague. Continue. The state is raising the inflection. This amount to just wasting time. As lawyers, it is upon you to make a decision which witnesses you call. And in all the cases, there is no need for you to give us reasons why you are not calling this witness. And as such, the state is not going to raise or make a lot of argument as to why now are you not calling this witness as you say. That is upon you. There's no need for an explanation and the reasons. Unless if my learned colleague is beginning with his argument indirectly. If he wants us to start this argument, he must start this argument. But that is not relevant. We don't need to know which witnesses, where are they staying, how many are they. Procedurally, that's how we proceed. Even in trial.
May I remind my colleague, may I reply? Bail application is sui generis, and sui generis is a very flexible kind of. I have made a promise even when I was asking. I must account to the court as to why now taking a different approach. And I was going to conclude by saying, if my learned colleague had exercised some little modicum of patience and kindness and less emotions, he would have had this one. That all these witnesses which are referred to, I dispense with, I close the applicant's case, and that's it. That I can't stand up and say to the court, I am no more calling these people, and not account. I don't know, that's how I was taught. Maybe I went to the wrong school.
Bishop, may the matter be rolled over until tomorrow. What the state will be doing, it will actually be beginning and proceeding with its case. And then thereafter, we will then argue in terms of the decision that needs to be taken by this honorable court.
Thanks for a contribution, and I fully agree with what my colleague has said. We'll be coming tomorrow to hear from the state and ready to proceed with our argument. There are originals which copies have to be made. May I ask my learned colleague to take care of that situation?
So the matter is postponed until tomorrow for further evidence for the state's case and the bail application. We will remain in custody until then.
I've got any case in it. I've got any case in it. I'm done, but there's a matter that I called the alien.
There is another matter. Should I wait for the court or can I leave?
Come on, we'll pick church here.
Thank you, Asha.
Bishop, may I guide